Well, we're talking about chicks in prison today. What's up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. As you can tell by the title, we're gonna be talking about intimate relationships in prison. And y'all saw the title and you clicked on it, so I don't even want to hear it in the comment section. You were not blindsided, you were warned. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is Jess. I'm a person in long-term recovery who has served time in prison, and my entire crazy life story is in the description box down below. If you want to follow me on any other social media platform, and please do so. TikTok, Instagram, Patreon, all of that is linked down below, as well as my vlog channel, where you can see me doing vlog stuff like planning my wedding, and my podcast. In the description box, you will also find a link to Groups Recovered Together, who I am a proud partner with. They're available in 12 states and strongly lean on harm reduction. They're 420 friendly and just the most amazing group of people. They offer both in-person and online therapy. All right, without further ado, let's kick this thing off. Before I get started, I have to shout out Kira Graves. They recently uploaded this video and they gave how-to tips and everything, so that's a good video to check out. And they are the inspiration for this video. So, I do have to start out this video with saying that I'm a straight person. I'm straight, I've never been in a relationship with a woman. This video is really just about how that happens in prison and what are the do's and don'ts when you have a girlfriend in prison. This is something that if you're a woman and you go to prison, you're going to see. It's very common, and I do want to say that women have needs, men have needs, we have needs. Sex is a normal thing is what I'm trying to say, because we all have hormones and we all have needs, and you know, it is what it is. We are where we are. This is also something that is against the rules in prison. You cannot enter in a relationship with another inmate. An inmate cannot date an inmate. They can't. It's against the rules. If two inmates are caught dating, or they're caught in a relationship, they're caught in any kind of sexual act, then they will be written up and separated. So I swear half of these prison compounds is like, this girlfriend is in this barracks and that one's in that barracks, and here's a note here and we have to keep them separated and they got written up or whatever. It is very against the rules, especially in the South, where a lot of these guards, in my personal experience, were homophobic. And I'm going to say that with all of my certainty because I witnessed it firsthand. The inmates, however, were not, and were very accepting no matter what your pronouns are, what you identify as. They were not hateful at all. It was such a normal thing. So I'm very happy to say that the inmates did not treat other inmates badly because of their identity and their sexuality and their pronouns and what have you. So that's good. But the guards, on the other hand, were a little bit different. Now, before we get into like how to go about doing that, there are toys that are made with all different kinds of things. Now, in my time, I have heard of them being made with a, what's that called? Toothbrush holder and pads and gloves over that. That is really aggressive, but I have heard of that happening, and they can make strap-ons like that, but I've also more commonly seen soap. So what they do is they take soap and they mold it to the shape that they want it and the size that they want it, and then they put a glove over that so that you're not just putting soap into your body, because that's not wise and that's a bad idea. So these things can be made. I've actually seen one with Jolly Ranchers one time. Anyway, all of these items have gloves over them that your girl here stole from commissary to sell to these people because they needed them. And I don't judge. I don't judge you. I'll steal that for you if that's what you want. And I did. Do you know those scenes in Orange is the New Black where like you see these very romantic, long, steamy shower scenes? That is not reality. That is not happening in real life. Say you were in an open dorm. This is how you would go about having intercourse with your significant other that is also an inmate. We're talking about 2 inmates here. That's what this video is, 2 inmates. So if you were in an open barracks, and I'll put up a little picture here so that you guys can see what this looks like. It's essentially a gym with a bunch of bunk beds. You have no privacy. There are a few options that you can do. Your first option being the shower. Every dorm is different, every prison's different, every facility is different. Some barracks and some prisons have individual stalls with curtains. I prefer those. I would like privacy, please. Other units and other prisons that I've been to have an open shower where it's just a shower room with a bunch of little faucets. So your first option is to get down in the shower. Now, this requires a spotter, and that's where the straights come in. I'm here to help. It is up to the spotter to let the girlfriends know that there is a cop coming in. Typically during shower time, male corrections officers have to announce themselves. They don't always do that. You know, man on the walk or male officer, whatever. They say something to let you know that there's a man there. They don't always do that. Female officers don't have to announce themselves ever. So it was the spotter's responsibility, hi, that would be me, to make sure that before that door pops open, that I tell the girls in the shower having their moment that there is a cop at the door. They will immediately do the best that they can to get out of that shower stall and somewhere else in the bathroom out of view of the officer. Now there are like cinder blocks in open dorms blocking the bathroom. They do have obstructed views, so unless they're in the bubble, which kind of looks over the pod, they wouldn't be able to see it. However, a lot of times this is a very difficult situation and there are female officers in the bubble, sometimes men, looking down in the shower room to make sure that girls are not showering together. It happens all the time. And you don't have any control over that whatsoever. So this would be in a scenario where if that was what they wanted to do, it would be best to go first thing in the morning when there are less people using the showers and the showers are unlocked a couple times a day in maximum security. You can't just go into the shower whenever you want to. You just can't. And this would be a scenario where you'd have to know the officer is cool to a certain extent, or you can get away with it to a certain extent. And every inmate knows which officers you can get away with things with and which officers you can't. And it's just a common knowledge thing. So how often do inmates have, you know, relations in the shower? It happens, you know, a few times a week probably. And this is just one of those situations where, again, you need help with that. So let's transition to the bed area. Now in maximum security, again, officers do not want to see two inmates in one bed area. That's tricky because we're in bunk beds. So how do you keep two inmates off of one bed? Well, you have to scream at them all the time and yell at them all the time and write them up and take them to seg over it. You really have to drive your point home that you don't want to be caught in someone else's bed area. Even if I was walking by someone else's bed and an officer just feels like screaming at me, they can be like, "Can't move along, get back to your bed, you know, get out of that area." Just standing in the walkway of one bed to another, these officers can be crappy. And again, every facility is different. I've definitely experienced a lot of different things, but you know, it happens. Officers don't want you sitting on someone else's bed in certain facilities. In county jail, that's a different story and we'll get there to in a second. So open dorms is really tough. You have to have spotters. You have to make sure that, you know, the right officer is on duty if you want to get away with that. And also something to be very mindful of here is that everyone sees you, bro. We are inmates. We know what you're doing. And most people are very uncomfortable with that and look away and they don't want to see it, or they judge you, or they'll talk crap behind your back if you're doing it in public and in open. And it's just, it is what it is. Everyone knows what you're doing. Everyone's going to talk about it. Let's talk about masturbation. Again, completely against the rules. You're not allowed to do it. And this is something, again, that in open dorms is very difficult. Some women just don't care and they'll go for it. Some women, super shy, don't want to do that. You know, never gonna ever do that. Just to pause here, I do want to mention that, like, even going to the bathroom as an inmate, you're not going to the bathroom by yourself. You're doing everything in plain view of everyone else, unless you're in a closed tier, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But these open dorms, you're going to the bathroom in front of people, and that's something that you just have to get used to. So after a while, you just don't care. And I know that sounds crazy, like how can you go to the bathroom in front of somebody else? You have to go. We all have to go. We all do it. You just get over it. You know, you lose that, like, oh my God, I'm so scared to go to the bathroom and poop in front of people. You lose that after a couple weeks in county. You just get over it at some point. You're like, oh, well, I gotta poop. So that is what it is. So let's talk about closed tiers. Most county jails are closed cells. In my personal experience, I've seen tons of these. They're closed cells, 2-man cells. Sometimes they squeeze 4 people in 2-man cells. It's awful. Some jails are so crowded, they have to have cots just in the day room. It's just rough. But a lot of times we're talking about lockdown facilities, because county jails are lockdown facilities. You know, they're closed tier cells. Everyone from hot checks to capital murder are housed in county jails. It's a pretty, you know, tough situation. It's 23-1 a lot of times. There's not a lot of movement there. Not everyone has jobs in county jail. It's boring. It's stale. It's just, county jail is not the place to be. I would pick prison over county jail anytime, because there's like nothing to do in county jails. And in my experience, county jails, their rec yard is like a cement block and you don't see grass, you don't touch grass, can't go outside. In prisons, you have a yard, a rec yard, and you can go outside and touch the grass. So I pick prison all day long. And the commissary is a little bit better. You get ice cream and stuff. Moving on. If you're in a closed cell, it is very easy to have, you know, an intimate moment with your girlfriend. Super easy, you have privacy. The only situation here is that you would need to be mindful a little bit of staff walking through, because again, if corrections officer is walking by and they see this happening, they'll write you up for it and they will separate you and you no longer can stay in the cell. If you are not roommates, you're gonna get in trouble for it. Now, people are gonna snitch on you regardless. Maybe this girl is snitching on you because she's jealous, because she wants your girlfriend or likes your girlfriend, or she's snitching on you because she's mad at you or you did something to her. Snitching happens all the time. So that's another layer of fear as far as having a girlfriend in prison, is that not only are people gonna see you, that's awkward, but people can snitch on you too. And the way that they do that is they write kites to the staff and they say, oh, this cell and these two inmates have a relationship and they're doing this in the cell. They have contraband toys that they've made in this cell, and they can slip a note to the guards, and that is awful. That is just so petty and so stupid, but it happens all the time. Girlfriend drama makes up like 80% of the drama in prisons for females. I have seen inmates get severely freaking hurt over girlfriend drama, beaten, burned, just all kinds of things over these girlfriends, man. It's a rough thing. I've seen women get tattoos of their girlfriend's name in prison. I've seen women want to get married to their girlfriend in prison. I've seen women leave their significant other on the street for these women. You know, there's a lot of high emotions and drama and all kinds of things going on in prison. And there really is just this very clear undertone of romantic prison girlfriend drama in every single barracks. I'm willing to bet in every single female facility across this country. It's a really intense thing. And a lot of people might judge that and think like, how could you possibly fall in love with someone in prison? It's super easy. We're experiencing the same thing. We're both here. We're both alone. We're both away from our family. We can relate to each other on a very real issue. Like we're here together. We're spending every waking moment with each other. You know, we're living together, we're eating together, we're working out together, we're going to the yard together, we're going to the library together. We live with each other. So how can someone fall in love with their prison girlfriend? Have you seen some of these women? Because they are women, am I right? It's super easy, you know, especially if you're serving a lot of time, you know, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. We have needs, and it's not hard to fall in love with somebody. I do just want to add on to the people get hurt with prison girlfriend drama a little bit, because I've seen women use other women for commissary. They get really close to these women and they're just manipulating them. And I've seen a lot of that. I've seen narcissism. I've seen gaslighting. I've seen a very clear abusive girlfriend relationship over and over again. I've seen it a million times. That's an exaggeration. Not a million times. I've seen it a lot. And that's just such a sad reality of prison girlfriend drama, is that we're all in survival mode. And it's very difficult to see someone's true colors and to really know that this sweet person is really just a good person that I'm falling in love with, or are they love bombing me because they're a narcissist? That's a challenge in prison. It's a challenge in the street. And I just wanted to throw that in here because I've seen that too. Have I seen a couple fall in love in prison, get married, and live happily ever after in the street? Yes, I have. I only have one example of that, but it happens. It can happen. And if that is your love story, I do not judge you, and I'm so happy for you. But you know, there are a lot of issues with girlfriend drama. I had to put in this video. So in a nutshell, if you have a girlfriend and you want to go down on your girlfriend, it's best that you have your own cell. If you don't have your own cell, you're gonna have to get spotters, whether you're doing that in the shower or you're doing that in the barracks. It's just really tough. I've seen girlfriends, you know, want to get into some relations on the yard or in these little stalls and bathrooms, or anywhere they can get it is what they're gonna do. And it's just a really stressful moment, especially for the girlfriends, but for the spotter too, because I'm like, I don't want you guys to get in trouble and I don't want to get caught spotting for you. This is stressful. But you know, anywhere they can find a private moment, which is not very often, they're gonna take, you know, they're gonna do what they can to be involved with each other because they're dating. I want to end this video by saying I can't have a prison channel without talking about all aspects of being a woman in prison. And this is a very real reality of being a woman in prison. There's a lot of girlfriend drama. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video if you made it to the end. As always, I love you guys. Stay safe, stay in recovery, whatever that looks like to you. Don't judge people that fall in love in prison. It happens all the time. I think we're all just trying to find genuine love and or friendship so that we don't have to die alone, bro. Okay, so don't judge people. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next one.